Welcome, Redbeard here, and it is time for my first ever series on this channel. Road to rank 1 corrupted Gauntlet as a hardcore Ironman. The only rule is simple: I cannot use tier 3 armor inside the Gauntlet, from Lumbridge to the walls of Prifdinnas. Let's begin. Welcome to episode 11 of this series. It feels like yesterday since the first one, coming in with greater demons. Slayer is almost finished until I can slay Korasks, and with that unlocked, it would be time to start ramping up skilling where it is required. The Song of the Elves quest. With this new method for cash, I can level the skills needed. The first and the hardest, in my opinion, is Herb Lore, where if you have more cash in the Miscellanea coffers, the more herbs it would yield daily. It is the best source of herb lore XP. Sure, while killing Korasks I can pick up herbs, but it's not even close, because of constant banking until I hit 58 herb lore for the herb sec. Once that is obtained, I can stay there longer without resupplying. And secondly, smithing. At the blast furnace, buying gold ores to 70 will require a good amount of gold, and yet it will be beneficial at Korasks while farming cash. I will need minimum 80 melee combat skills, minimum, and 90 hit points to do the corrupted gauntlet safely and efficiently. Plus there's the option to use both mage and ranged at Korasks, so there's plenty of time to get enough for smithing. And the rest of the skills, the majority of them require nothing but grinding, like agility, and the rest is quite a fun challenge. Now for gearing, the next step is to unlock the Mauritania Hard Diary for the Barrows gear, and I am looking forward to it greatly. With the diary unlocked, I would get 50% more runes and the unlimited teleport to Burg der Rot, very close to a bank. The skills required as shown are not very time consuming except for agility and prayer. Agility is needed to access Prifdinnas, so it's like hitting two birds with one stone. And even unlock the full graceful until 70, which will be very useful while doing farming and even mining and all the other stuff. And with prayer, for us hardcore Ironman, the next best thing to farm dragon bones is blue dragons beneath Taverley dungeon, but only and only if you have, you guessed it, 70 agility to use the obstacle straight to them. Alternatively, with this one, I have never done them, is to use ensouled heads, and I have a good amount of them, especially giant heads, from the hill giants months ago. I remember picking them up just for the GE value and left a good chunk of them on the floor thinking about it. I just haven't really used them since release, only picked them up to sell them while on my main slaying, and that is what I am doing, using all the ensouled heads that I can summon. So I went there, but you need 60% favor, so did the library, which is super easy with Runelight. I cannot imagine someone doing the library without the Runelight. It's like torture. Anyway, I unlocked them. Honestly, I was surprised with the amount of prayer experience they give. I thought using the ensouled giant heads, which is low level, would give 200, maybe 300 the most, but they give a massive 650 experience. I couldn't believe it. And they had over 150 heads, just on the giant ones. Anyway, I am happy, and I reckon I will unlock the chivalry using all the heads, which will be a blast prayer flicking. Second to last head, 58 prayer. Close enough to 60, I'm content with that. I leveled from 53 to 58 prayer in less than an hour, which is quite fast. And still I have higher level and soul heads in the bank, like 30 Bloodvelds one, I don't know, somewhere around there. But need 72 magic to summon them, so I will get that done later. One more level until Korasks, and a break from Slayer, or maybe until 71 or 72, to buy the rune pouch and the herb sack. The rune pouch is not that important, but the other one is needed. I would really love to get maybe even a staff from a superior. My kill count is 18 with them. I just saw a video with someone getting an imbued heart and less than 10 KC at Bloodvelds. It's like fuel watching those types of videos, but you can't really farm for them like anything else. All anyone can do is to slay and hope to hit the drop table. Okay, you know what's wrong in this clip. I'm sure I'm not the only one that this happens to. The amount of times I forgot a light source while trying to kill cave horrors, I could run the length of RuneScape easily. It is complete, a major milestone when it comes to farming cash, and with this, moving to higher level stuff is much faster. With Korasks unlocked, I decided to knock stuff that is a must out of the way that need a good amount of cash, starting with upgrading the Iban stuff. When doing barrows it is overpowered in my opinion, and no, I'm not complaining, far from it. It is fun using there, hitting over 20s constantly and very cheap to use in terms of runes needed. The expensive part is after using it 2.5k times, I have to come back here and pay another 200k, which is nothing compared to the chest that will be completed until it is fully depleted. That rhymes. I bet if I add some of the dragon met helms I get, I will get more than enough to cover it, or even a duplicate barrows piece. I admit, this is like insanity, trying to slay these every video only to fail again and again. I thought I would have some edge with the Ibn Blast, but the same as before. Close to impossible. Well, not impossible, but one kill would take me close to 500 blasts, so it's not worth it. I'll stick to Void for the time being. Looking at what I need for the Song of the Elves, other than the Ahrim's gear and using Ancients and all the other gear items, I will need Tzhaar and Brews, lots of them. It is possible to defeat Seren without the brews, but it will be difficult and I'm not about to leave anything to chance. To make them from scratch, I would require over 80 Herblore, and that would take too long. So the second best place to find them at my level is to loot grubby chests by using grubby keys. And the keys can be dropped by all the creatures inside Fortos dungeon. My plan when it comes to ranged is to enchant further the Salve Amulet, using Void Gear and train ranged on the undead druids. At a distance they only hit with magic, so it is safe with Protect from Magic. But for now I'm using melee at the temple, spiders, and I can say it is a good place to train melee here, due to the constant hits. They have almost no defense against crush weapons, hence why I'm using a dragon mace. And since they sped up some of the weapons in line with the whip and the scimitars, training here is very fast and profitable. Constant talkables and most importantly grab a key from these, at 1 in 100, so it's not very rare. Also, it is multi-combat, but if using melee it should not be a problem, because of their weird aggro lines, where some of them just stop attacking when you move to certain lines in this part of the area. My plan later on is to barrage these. It would not be as fast as other methods, like the gorillas, but until I get a good amount of keys for the Solomon Brews, I will train here. Maybe I get a master wand. I love the new Shizen area, they did a good job on this one, seriously, the detail is spot on. Now I am here because I've decided, on a whim as I was checking out my gear and whatnot, to get the fire cape. And since I have a good amount of cash, I will use rune arrows instead of broads, unlike last attempt. It wasn't a bad run, just underestimated the amount of food I brought and the broad arrows. They just weren't powerful enough. So here I am. Bought 1k rune arrows and have some in my bank too. 1000 should be enough. And speaking of this NPC, I think it's an easter egg from The Walking Dead of Daryl. He sells a normal crossbow too. I don't know, could be a big coincidence. It is time. I'm not that worried about prayer, I just hope for some lucky spawns later on, and this time I'm using full void. It has low defense, but I hope for the best. Have better food too. I was going to complete the quest for the Ancient Mace, which has an incredibly powerful special attack, where you get prayer points for damage dealt, but I wasn't in the mood. Personally, I'm guessing the issue will be food. Wave 27 and 60 ranged. The graphics on this guy. Wow. They are the best. Wave 61. The hardest waves are done and I'm grateful. My hand is killing me. Prayer flicking the whole way through. I'll just hope for the best at Judd. I think I have enough supplies. The healers can be quite a pain, especially with Void, but I'll deal with them one way or the other. As for ammo, I have just enough to not worry about running out. Yes, looking pretty good, thus far. Okay, please hit. For the love of Christ, hit. Yes, fl-aħħar. There it is, the fire cape is mine. And now I can start the obsidian armor grind. That is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like this series, let me know below. Comment, like, share and subscribe. And as always, happy escaping. Peace.